So this video, we're going to go over the add-on that's called the Discombobulator. So you just go to Preferences and just click it on from the add-on section there. And if you go down to Discombobulator and Add Mesh, and let's just click on it and you can see what it does. It adds another object that's the discombobulated mesh, and you can see it kind of breaks it down into sections, kind of a subdivision, and then adds protrusions on those. So let me do it again. You can see each time you do it, there's a little random seed that it adjusts, and you can play with the minimum height and the maximum height and then the taper of each of those sections. So here I'm playing around with the taper and the max height, the min height, just to show you what they do. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the number of subdivisions. 1 just divides it one time, and then 2 another time. Add a cube, shift it in Z by 1, and then make the origin there at the 3D cursor. And then let's add another one, another cube, and then just go ahead and extrude some pieces. You grab some surfaces and drag them out, and then let's drag out another one. Let's give it some little protruding pieces there, and then let's drag this piece out over here. Okay, so there's something else. Well, let's click that, and if you go to Discombobulator on each of these, and instead of clicking OK, you go pick doodad, it's going to make those two doodads. And then if you go to the mesh that you want this on and go to Discombobulator and click OK, and you have make doodads on, it's going to put those on to those surfaces. Now, what did I do? I clicked on the discombobulated mesh rather than the original mesh, and that created just a mess. Okay, so let's try that again. And you can see it kind of spreads those on those surfaces. And it seems that if you scale them, it really doesn't do anything, so that it seems like there's a little bit of work to make those doodads come out nice. But, you know, I made a little short with a little lizard guy running away from a robot, and there I used the discombobulate on the panels that were the walls to give it sort of a sci-fi panel kind of look. So you can adjust the number of doodads on each of the surfaces. There's a minimum and a maximum number, and you can just play around with those and see how that works for you. The main thing you want to do here is flip the normals. If you click on the face orientation, you can see that it's all blue here. But if you flip it, then it's going to be red, and that means that the normals are actually pointing inward. So if I go inside the torus, you can see there they are. They're blue surfaces. And that's what it's actually going to use as the direction of those protrusions for the discombobulator. So if we do a discombobulate on this, and I undid the doodads and kind of played around with some of the tapering and max and min height, you can see it gives you this kind of panel structure on the inside. And if I had a couple of materials, for the protruded surface and then the sides of those surfaces, you can get a different look. And here I'm putting some kind of metallic surface on the protruded flat surface, and then the sides I'm putting some emission, and you can see what kind of effect that gives. And just to kind of beat this to death, here's another one. I took a cube and kind of messed around with it and kind of made this little spaceship looking thing. And one thing you can do with doodads is you can have two different ones on the same object. Here I go to edit mode and I selected some panels. These are all the sides. And then if I go to object mode and do the discombobulate and play around with those until I like them, here I'm increasing the repeat on the protrusions so that it kind of builds on itself. And then I click OK. And there I get some sort of sci-fi panels on that side section. I guess it's kind of looking like a Star Wars vehicle. And here, if I go click one of the other panels and select all the surfaces with the same normal, and then let's just go ahead and select these. And then we'll select all the other surfaces on that protruding thing. I guess it's some kind of control tower or something. I think I just need one more side and that's it. And then we're going to do a different discombobulate on these sides. So here I'm not going to have the protrusions go out as high. And maybe I'll cut down on the number of subdivisions. We'll keep that going down a little bit low. And take off the repeat protrusions and click it. And there you can see we have, you really can't see it in this view, but if I go to the shaded, you can see there are some very light kind of panels there. So if that's the kind of look you're going for, you can do that. You can put two different discombobulates on the same object to get the effect that you want. And that's about it. So if you like the video, please click like or subscribe. And that's all I got. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.